Om Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya. Hari Om. So far, the recent lessons that we have seen from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, a couple of days ago, we saw Shri Krishna says, choose me exclusively, right? With all your body, mind, and intellect. That is through your actions. For that, you have to give your feelings through your thoughts and through your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Choose me exclusively. How to do that, Bhagavan? Bhagavan said in the next lesson, realize that all that you see and perceive is me alone. I am the origin, the middle, and the end of everything. Everything has come from me, exists in me, and will dissolve in me, including your body, mind, and intellect. Therefore, realize that way, and you have no choice but to choose me. So, choose me with love and dedication and self surrender. Okay, so choose me exclusively, and then all is me, everything is me. Now, in this next lesson, Shri Krishna says, not only that everything is me, but everything is done by my will alone. Everything is done by my will alone. Just 1 second, okay, 1 minute. This is better. So next lesson is, Lord says, not only is everything me, but everything happens by my will alone. Thy will be done. So realize that and surrender to me. See, so far, Arjuna, and through Arjuna, all of us, through these Bhagavad Gita chapters, have received a lot of knowledge from Sri Krishna. A lot of knowledge about the self, Adhyatma Jnana, about karma, about how karma works, the philosophy of karma and all that. Sadhana, the various sadhanas as aspirants, as sadhakas, we must take up in bhakti, karma, jnana, all that, including dhyana yoga. If you see in the past chapters, all that is there in the Bhagavad Gita, and about creation itself, Srishti, and about Ishvara, the nature of Ishvara, the nature of creation, the nature itself, that is Maya, Prakriti, all of these things from Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 to 10, Bhagavan has given lots of knowledge to Arjuna and to us. And in between, he has encouraged a lot of questions and doubts. He has encouraged from Arjuna and has clarified all these doubts and answered all his questions and again, and given lots of knowledge about pertaining all these things. Who am I? What is this world? Where has it come from? Who is the creator? What is my relation? What is this Maya? What is this karma? Everything about death, everything. Still, even after hearing all this information, or it still remains as an information, as a knowledge, as a theoretical knowledge, it remains. And still, after hearing all that from Sakshat Shri Krishna himself, Bhagwan himself, there is still some lingering doubt in Arjuna and in all of us also. Yes, because we are waiting, no, what is the next lesson? What is the next lesson? That means there is this doubt lingering. And Shri Krishna is our Antaryami, and he can see from Arjuna's face this lingering doubt. Even though he has explained with all logic and with so many references, yes, you see this world, this cosmos, this entire cosmos, so many Brahmandas, and everything is in order, not chaotic. It's a cosmos, not chaos, right? So there must be a creator. Srishti is, therefore, a Srishti Karta is there, and he is infinite. And because of the grandeur of the creation, you can, by logic, know and realize that the creator also must be all present and omnipotent and omniscient and all capable, right? So when such a supreme Karta is there, and his will is the law of karma, so why question all these things? Just do your duty. Just do your duty. And all of these things he has explained with so much logic why you should do your duty and why you should believe in God, that he exists and his supreme will alone prevails. What benefit he can get out of this knowledge and abiding in this knowledge. All these things he has explained again and again from so many angles, with so many references and logic and everything. And Arjuna has listened. There is trust, there is faith, but still, there is just lingering doubt, which is visible. So, how to trust this knowledge? And Shri Krishna has also said, and that supreme Lord is me. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. I am everything. That also he has said. How to trust this knowledge? Seeing is believing. Seeing is believing, right? So, in this 11th chapter, like nowhere else in the entire Hindu scripture, if you take, out of supreme compassion alone, just out of supreme compassion, Shri Krishna illustrates a grand show. He demonstrates a grand, all that he has taught, the essence of all that he has taught, he shows. He shows for Arjuna to perceive and experience that I am everything. I am the creator, the sustainer, the destroyer of this entire cosmos. In the 10th chapter, in the Vibhuti Yoga, that is all these divine glories that he showed, Bhagavan showed all the great things, the beautiful things, the good things, the famous things, and said, that is me. See me in all the glory. See me in all this prosperity, in this beauty, in this wealth, in this grandeur. See me. But now in this, he says, not only the good, but also the bad. Not only the beautiful, but also the ugly. Not only the love, but also the hatred. The past, the present, the future. Not only the creation and the sustenance, but also the destruction. Is me, is out of my will, my doing alone. He shows all of whatever he has said through words, whatever he has explained through logic and references, all the Shabdam Pramana, all the Anumana, Upamana, different modes of knowledge he used to explain. Now he shows as Pratyaksham, he shows. Through your own senses, who said God is not there for perception? You see, you can experience me. With all your senses, you can experience me. Out of sheer compassion. After all that logical explanation and all the various different things, he says, and he shows in his own very body, in that Divya Deha, in that Dehe, you see, and he gives the Jnana Chakshu, the special vision that is the inner light that Arjuna needs to perceive and experience the Lord and his Virata cosmic form in his very own body. All that he has said in the previous lessons, see that for himself, perceive that through his very senses. Nowhere else. First, Arjuna sees all the radiance, the brilliance, the dazzling light, all that kiritams, all those ornaments, all those, what do you call this, those crowns and all those jewels and everything. And then he sees infinitude, he sees magnificence, he sees splendor, sees all the beautiful things, the grandeur. He sees how it is so countless, 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 the countlessness and the infinitude, the beginninglessness and the endlessness. It's just one vast, all around him, above, below, everywhere. And he's very much part of that vision. It's not just watching something on a 3D TV with special glasses and you remain apart from that experience. No, it's more than 3D. It's multiple. They say now there is even 7D, 8D is possible. Whatever Ds are possible, and he's part of that experience. It's not like we are watching a movie apart from us. What is you're watching and you are a part in it simultaneously? How will it be? Like that kind of experience. And first he witnesses all this grandeur. Then slowly, slowly, God shows him the other side also. Not only the terrific things, but also the terrible things are me alone. It is an intense graphic display. And Arjuna sees, hears, smells, he can feel the experiences of everybody and he goes through the experience. And what does he see? The terrible things. God as Kala with such Damshra Karala, that is those long, long, what do they call the fangs, those big teeth, like those carnivorous animals have. And all these people, including all the warriors in the war, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Jayadratha, and all these great, great warriors running towards the mouth, Lord's terrible mouth and teeth. Like what? Like the waters of the river towards the ocean, like the moth towards the blazing fire, uncontrollably just drawn, going and entering into the mouth, helpless victims, as so just out of control, out of force. They themselves, it seems like they are running like the moth to the fire, and they are being crushed by Bhagwan's teeth, and they are all just hanging there with their heads powdered or their limbs broken and hanging here and there, disfigured. This Ghora vision. First he sees the grandeur, then he sees the Ghora vision also. And he just asks, Bhagwan, I'm so terrified, I'm trembling. And he says, who are you? Why have you come here? What is your purpose? I'm so confounded. I'm lost. I don't know the directions. It is like I'm completely deluded. I don't know who you are, who I am, what is all this happening. My senses are failing me. Whatever I'm seeing, is this for real? I don't even know the directions. All around me, whatever is happening is just so unfathomable, he says. And again, out of sheer compassion, whatever Bhagavan previously explained, he showed. And again, due to all that, this overwhelming nature of that very experience, still he could not see, still he could not understand what Shri Krishna is trying to say, what Shri Krishna is trying to demonstrate and show and make him experience. So Shri Krishna explains again through words. He says, I am Kala. I'm Kala. You ask me why I have come. I have come for destruction. The time has come for all these people to be wiped out from the surface of the earth, and I have come exactly to play that role. I am Kala. I've come to destroy everything. And with that answering crisp answers, brief answers to his question, he explains. And at that time, he reveals the most important life lessons to Arjuna and also to all of us. He says, oh Arjuna, you see all these warriors who are here, please know that they have already been killed by me. Already been killed by me. But they are standing there. They are all vowing to kill me, and they're all raging with all their weapons, armed to the teeth. Yes, just like a ferocious lion waiting to pounce on you, only that lion is a painting. How scared will you be before that lion in that painting with its teeth and claws and ready to pounce? How scared will you be? Can you not brush it aside with one brush, with one stroke of brush? That's all validity you can give. That's all there is to that. Nothing. They have been killed by me already. And just know one thing, even without you, they will die. Even without you, they will die. So you don't have to either arrogate or feel sinful about any of these things. Even without you, they will die. They have chosen this end, they have chosen by their own choices, their own decisions, their own actions. So without you, they will die. All these warriors have been killed by me already, and even without you, Ritepi Tvam, they will not exist even without you. So all I'm asking you now is just be an instrument. Get up and fight. Fight, do your duty. It will be a child's play with his left hand. Savyasachan, you're ambidextrous. You can just do it with your left hand, meaning so easy, like a child's play. Get up, fight, do your duty, and gain fame and kingdom. Yasho labhasva. And gain this kingdom with all its prosperity and without any enmity and without any obstacles. You can rule it. That's what you wanted to know. All these questions he had, whether I will win, whether I will survive, who will be killed, all these things he showed in his body. And then at the end he also said, this has been done. This has been done already. Okay. So through these words, if we analyze and assimilate and ponder over these things, these are like such magnificent lessons of life from this death show that Bhagavan is trying to give us. Most important life lessons through this death show. Lesson number one, no one is indispensable. No one is indispensable. Arjuna had the feeling, no, even though in his army there were great warriors, maybe even greater than him, more powerful than him, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Nakula Sakadeva, Drishtadyumna, and so many others. But he somehow had this feeling that only he will destroy Bhishma, Drona, Karna, all of them. And he had these doubts. Two things. One is, of course, Bhishma and Drona are all so great. He owes his very life to them. How can I kill them? And I will gain all that sin by doing that. The second thing is they are invincible. Bhishma Svecha Maranam, he can only die on his own will. And Dronacharya also, he's his own teacher. He knows everything that he has taught Arjuna, and not only taught him, what are his flaws, what are his defects, everything he knows. Such great people, even Karna has a boon, all this great weapons, celestial weapons that he has got through his dana and all that. How on earth are these invincible people going to die in this war? How will they lose? How can it happen? So he had those doubts. And he also had a feeling only he can do it. And how he's going to do, he doesn't know. How am I going to do? And if I end up doing it also, I will get sin. So all these confusions, Krishna simply wipes away his fear, saying, Raja, nothing you can do, nothing you will do also, it's already been done. You just pose there as a warrior, hold that bow of yours, Gandiva, and get the fame. Anybody has unmuted, please mute yourself. So that is a lesson, not only for Arjuna to be humbled and to know that he's just an instrument, and that is he's dispensable at any time, Anybody God can choose to do it, not just him, not just he was the fit patra. God can make even a pull, a grass as an oidam, as a weapon. Why just arrogate and feel that I alone can do this? This lesson is for all of us to know that there is no leader, no head of a family or a community or the nation or an institution or a mission who is irreplaceable or indispensable. If God wills, anyone, the last person can become all capable of leading the nation also. Gurudev used to say, no, when others, devotees asked Gurudev, what will happen to this mission after you? What is going to happen to this mission after you? Gurudev would just smile. After me, what did I do? It is all Lord Narayana's doing. He will take care of it. He realized and lived it. So none of us, how many times we feel, what will happen to my family without me? What will happen to all this institution that I've built, this company, all these families that are supported by me, by this service work, this mission work, what is going to happen? Nothing. Sometimes even a better person comes along the way, picks it up and does a much better job than us. Lucky of being Lord's instrument. Nimitta matram bhava savya sachin. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says to Arjuna. It will be a child's play. It will be an easy thing. With your left hand, you can do it. Just be an instrument. All this has already been done. And please know that even without you, it will be done. And somewhere else, in one of the commentaries, we see that Shri Krishna says, even if you do not pick up that Gandiva, even if you do not shoot one arrow, just putting you in the chariot, just driving the chariot around and around and around, because he also said he will not pick up an instrument. Without picking up any weapon and without Arjuna also, just driving the chariot, he would have killed all of them. As Shri Krishna, not even as Bhagavan. Yes. And so many times through so many leelas also he has shown this. In that Govardhana mountain lifting, all those Gopas used to feel part of it. He wanted them to feel part of it. So they would all, oh, Krishna is holding that entire mountain with his little finger. Let us all help. So they were all trying to hold their sticks and hold that mountain up. At one point they felt they're all really helping Shri Krishna. And all Shri Krishna had to do is let go a little bit of pressure, little bit of pressure, a wee bit of pressure from that mountain, and it was about to squeeze them. Then they realized that very moment, Krishna, kapate, kapate, help us, protect us, save us. And again, he took up that burden, that entire burden. With the nail of his little finger, he could hold that entire mountain, protect all of them, still give us the feeling that we are doing our roles. We are the head of the family, this institution, we are running the whole show, the entire burden. What will happen without me? Like the lady, the foolish lady in the train, still carrying the weight baggage on her head while she is traveling in the train, not realizing the train is carrying her burden and the baggage on her head. Similarly, we travel in this life. Similarly, we travel in this life, taking that burden unnecessarily on our head, arrogating, not realizing this fact that God has simply chosen us for this purpose. With or without us, it will happen. And he took up that responsibility, but by blowing that conch at the start of the war, he took up that responsibility. It was Pandava who blew it first, then Arjuna, Yudhishthira, and all of them. So, lesson number one through the death show, what Shri Krishna is telling us is no one is indispensable in this world. Even without us, things will move on just fine, maybe even better. Second thing, the law of karma is inevitable and invincible. It's eternal, universal, of course, but it is inevitable and invincible. It is wielded by God. Everything happens by that law of karma, which is His will. So nothing is chaotic, nothing is unfair. We see sometimes and we feel why these unfair things are happening. So much war, so much disharmony. When we, within a family of four also, we have so much ego and likes and dislikes and so much fights and quarrels going on. Huh? What can we expect in this big world other than war? When we don't follow any discretion about our lifestyle, how much we exercise or what we eat and all that, then how can we expect a world without any pandemic and without any disease and for all to be healthy? Whatever we do, the result we have to reap. And you have to realize this supreme fact, this ultimate fact, truth, that the law of karma prevails everywhere at all times. So, not that a man is punished for his sins, but he is punished by his sins. This is what we keep hearing again and again, no? நான் என்ன பாவம் பண்ணேனோ, we will say. Man is punished not for his sins, by his sins, meaning what? We are all born, we live and we die, all by our own doing, by our own actions. Our own actions alone are the reasons why we are born, why we live a certain way, and why and how we die, everything. So, knowing, understanding, and accepting, assimilating this universal fact, what happens? Anytime we feel looted, cheated, insulted, you know, the law of karma is there. Be patient, have supreme faith, and respond. Not that you should not respond, but don't react. Don't react saying, oh, they cheated me or they insulted me. I'm going to take revenge. I'm going to show who I am. All that is not needed. By their very own actions, by their very own, the insult that they have rendered upon you or that injustice that they have shown upon you, by their very action, they have chosen the results, their own results, their own ends. They have chosen their end result by their own actions. Not that you have to take revenge or fight back or have to react to show that what they are doing is wrong. Nothing you have to do, but you have to respond. You have to respond the right way, but with detachment, not arrogating that I am the one who have to show them that what they did is wrong. I have to prove to them, I have to prove what they said is wrong. I have to prove myself. Nothing is needed. It will all happen in time. Not that you have to sit quietly also. Respond, don't react. They have chosen their end. They will be punished. Yes, they will be punished. By their own actions, they have chosen it. Not that you have to render that action. Even without you, it will happen. But whether you should render that action, yes, depends on your role and responsibility. See, a murderer has to be punished. He's caught, he's been proven guilty. The judge will sentence him to death. The hangman will hang him, or the doctor nowadays who injects him will do that. But neither the judge nor the doctor will gain the sin by taking the life of that murderer. Whereas if they say, oh, I cannot give this judgment, this death sentence, or I cannot, hang him or inject him and cause his death, that will give me sin. And if they refrain from their duty, that will bring them their sin. That will bring them the sin. And that murderer will be killed any which way. Even if this judge or that hangman or that doctor don't do their responsibility or duty, the end, the murderer, his death was chosen by the murderer himself when he not even performed that act of murder, but when he thought of it, when he orchestrated it in his mind, and when he decided in his mind to do it, at that time itself he chose the end result also, his own death and how he is going to die. Not that the judge did it or the doctor did it. But if they do their duty, they will gain fame, they will gain some goodness out of it. If they don't, they will gain sin. That's all. That's all there is to it. So understand this supreme law of karma. No, nothing is unfair. Know that nothing is unfair or chaotic. And we are what we are by our own actions. So take ownership of your actions, take up that responsibility, take charge of life. And whatever happens to us, which is beyond our control, sometimes we fall, we feel somebody is making us fall, right? Give the right response, not that you have to just resign to, oh, God is, this is karma, God is, it's God's will, and just don't do anything. That's not what God is saying. God is saying, fight. No, He's saying just they will die without me, without you also. So just go and sit there and watch. He's not saying that. He's saying get up and do your duty, realizing that all this has already been done by their own choice. So just know and do your duty without reacting with revenge or a sense of hatred or anger. He didn't want Arjuna to become a murderer, going about killing everybody, taking his own personal revenge. He wanted Arjuna to play his role as a yodha, as a kshatriya who's standing there for dharma. That's all. If at all there is some pain, some insult, something that you are experiencing, just know that some bad karma of yours from the past is getting exhausted. And whoever has delivered it is just a postman. You should not hug the postman or hurt the postman. He may bring some good news or bad news, but the news is just a deliverer. So whoever ABC is causing you that pain, that insult, whatever that loss that there is, he is just an instrument. Your own action was the root cause, but yet you respond to it appropriately without any hatred, without any attachment. These people are just facilitating for you to get washed away from your sins and bad karma. And God Himself, even though He is the wielder of this law of karma, He has shown several times in these itihasas that this is inescapable. Even though He could escape it or do it, kartum, akartum, vikartum, anyata kartum, everything is possible by Him to do, not to do any other way. But He chose to abide by the law of karma. He chose to abide by the law of karma. In several places we see Sri Rama had to be separated from Sri Sita Mata and cry and weep for her and go through all those sufferings. He accepted. Sri Krishna himself, he had to accept the curse of Gandhari, knowing well what all has happened. He accepted. That is law of karma. I have to go through this. And he also didn't hold on to his body. Ultimately, he gave up his mortal, even though he could have, still remained. All those things. And that blame he got, that he stole something that he did not do. Still, he was insulted and blamed for a act of crime which he did not do, an act of stealth which he did not do. But he responded. He proved himself to be right, but at the right time, the right way. What I'm saying is he could have shown the truth. So many other ways were there, but he played the role of Sri Krishna. His own sister Subhadra's son, he knew what was going to happen to Abhimanyu. And even as a child, not even as a child, as a fetus when he was in the womb of Subhadra, he tried to help. But Subhadra fell asleep and Abhimanyu could not learn the whole thing. He had to let it happen. He had to let it happen. He had to let everything happen. It was his own kith and kin also, no? In that supreme drama, right? So number one, no one is indispensable. Number two, the law of karma is inevitable and invincible. So just play a role. And number three, it is all the grand scheme, this grand scheme of God. And just we have to feel humbled, very, very humbled to play our tiny role. our very tiny, insignificant role. For nothing is impossible for him. Nothing is impossible for him. This was for Arjuna out of just unconditional love and compassion. Shri Krishna says and demonstrates. Because in that supreme cosmic vision, Vishwarupa Darshana, Krishna shows and Arjuna sees and says in his own words, oh, I'm seeing Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and all of them, and all these warriors enter into your mouth and being masticated and being killed by you. In the jaws of death, he sees that. And again, in his own words, Sri Krishna says, this Bhishma, Dronam, Karnan, and Jayadratam, all of these people have already been killed by me. They are standing there as mere paintings, as mere puppets. Even without you, they will be killed. Because that was his doubt. Remember, from the beginning, I will gain sin. No, you will not gain sin. Even without you, it's done. They have chosen this. This is their law of karma. They have to face it. It's not your doing. Number one. And number two, he had all these doubts, no, because see, Bhishma Svecha Maranam, and remember that he was also such a warrior, even though so old grandsire, he had fought against his own guru, Parshuramar, Sakshat Parshuramar, and he was undefeatable. Undefeatable even against his own guru, the greatest warrior, Sakshat, one of the avatars of Lord Vishnu, Parshurama himself. Such was Bhishma, and he had all those celestial weapons and so much strength, austerity of brahmacharya. Who could vanquish him? And this Dronacharya, he was guru not only of Arjuna, but of Drishtadyumna and of all the Pandavas and of most of the warriors on this side and that side, knowing very well what all each one is capable of and what they are not capable of, and possessing all those celestial weapons, and also such a great boon, or his strength and power was such that if he had even any weapon in his hand, as long as he held any weapon in his hand, nobody could even touch his shadow. Even if he had a mere stick in Drona's hand, as long as he held even a stick in his hand, nobody could touch even the shadow of Dronacharya. That was his power, strength, and boon. And Karna, we know he came with that Kavacha Kundala, but even when Indra, wanting to help Arjuna, went and begged for him, and Karna gave it all, from his own flesh, with flesh and blood he gave, and Indra was so moved by his dana that he blessed with an even greater boon and gave him the Shakti weapon, the Shakti Astra by Indra, which is invincible. Against whomever he wields, that person will be destroyed completely. And the Jayadratha, not as powerful or as great as any of these already mentioned people, most sinful creature, this Jayadratha, but still his father was just such a tapasvi, doing all those austerities, and the father had gained such a boon for his son Jayadratha that whoever would be responsible for Jayadratha's head to fall and roll on the floor, that person's, that killer's own head will be broken into 1,000 pieces. And for all of these people, it just seems, no, how can this happen? How can this be accomplished? That was Arjuna's fear, isn't it? உனக்கு என்ன கவலை அதை பத்தி, நான் பாத்துக்கிறேன், இது முடிஞ்சிருச்சு, எப்படி நடக்கும். Why are you worrying over it? They have chosen their end because they chose adharma. So this is done. How will it happen is not your fault. You just keep doing and the path gets clear. And what all he had to do, we know. Krishna, what all he did, ennallam pannaru, we know. He spoke lies, he spoke this, he spoke that, not lies, but whatever scheming, whatever planning. Pattapagal vattatthigiril iravaga. With the Sudarshana Chakra, he made the sun vanish, made the broad daylight look like evening sunset. And what all, oh my God, if you just go into it, what all Shri Krishna has done. The impossible was made possible. So nothing is impossible for God. The grand scheme of God is there, already well planned and being orchestrated. Only two expectations he has for us: be honest, be hardworking. Be honest and be hardworking. That's all. And Arjuna's reactions after seeing all these things, he was confounded. But when Shri Krishna himself points out, see this is what is going to be the result. This is what it is. Now, can we imagine Arjuna's position? So overwhelmed with gratitude, all the fear and delusion has gone, but with that reverential attitude, with reverence and great gratitude, is so overwhelmed that his whole body is trembling and shivering. He wants to join both his hands and fall at Shri Krishna's feet. Sashtanga Namaskar he wants to do, but his limbs are failing, his hands are failing. He wants to praise and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But his lips are shivering, his mouth is shivering. No words would come. His throats are choked. There is just Ananda Bashpatam. There's just tears flowing and running like river from his eyes. No word is escaping from his mouth. Everything is just so overwhelming. And finally, he says a beautiful prayer, the most beautiful prayer we can see anywhere in the world, anywhere, even in our most beautiful Hindu literature. Those few verses of the 11th chapter in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, only the essence, if we take what it means, is all is well, all is in its place as it should be. Sthane Rishikesh. Everything is fine, everything is in its place as you have ordained, all is fine, all is well. And the great, no wonder, salute thee. Again and again I prostrate to thee for all my mistakes that I have done knowingly and unknowingly. Do forgive me. You are the one and only one for the world and me. See, this beautiful prayer needs some more contemplation. We'll see that a little later. It's just a continuation of this. It was going to be, but we need to dwell a little bit more upon it. We'll see this prayer as such next class. But this class, what we have seen is everything happens by the Lord's will. Law of karma is such. Right? Whatever good, not only the good, but also the bad is his doing. The seemingly bad is his doing only. So that doesn't mean we just recline, resign, become passive. Anyway, God's will, law of karma is going to work. What is there? I'm not going to be able to change anything. No, that's not what God wants. He wants us to get up and do our duty, our bit. But knowing this grand scheme, knowing the power of the law of karma, just earlier God said, choose me, choose me. You don't know till now. So what it is, choose dharma and God will choose you. You choose dharma. You know that you should not be inactive, you should respond the right way. So do that, and God will be there. Even though the opposite party seems so powerful and all this seems just impossible, and the evildoers seem to get more and more powerful, more and more name, more and more fame, and more prosperity, and the good are being crushed, and all these things are happening, doesn't matter. You do your role, what is meant for you, not thinking that I'm indispensable and God has chosen me for this, nothing of that nature. This has come to me as a privilege, and I will do my bit. With that attitude, you just do it. Choose dharma, and God will choose you. Okay. Such a beautiful message. Very, very beautiful message that needs a lot of assimilation and internalization. We will end the class now, today, and we will continue next class. Okay. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.
Hari